Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like. And we are back. Chapter 12 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. We have finally reached a dozen chapters.
No doubt about it, yeah.
On this really awesome story of Boruto, yeah.
Welcome to the big time, because we're already here.
There's a little disclaimer here, due to copyright reasons. I cannot show you every single panel, but I will show you the good stuff, because the good stuff is what matters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when this finally gets adapted into the anime. It's really going to be awesome on how they could probably expand on some of these action scenes. Alright, so on the front, we've got a lovely Sumeri class rep. And then the title of the chapter is Thorn Soul Bulb. Alright, we're going to learn more about this. Okay, so we flip the page. We got Boruto standing like he's standing on business here after just chopping off that tree branch. Stands between Hidari and Sarada. And of course Sarada, Boruto. And Sumeri is just already laid down and watches this greatness. And then Komaharu sweating like bullets here. And then Hidari just having that little gaze with his Rinnegan eye. Alright, the next page here in page 3. And then looks like Boruto just had to gently set down Himawari there. And then, looks like Boruto, he shouts out to Komaharu, Master Komaharu, please keep Himawari safe. Looks like Hidari, he creates a little blade arm, and he's about to do a little slice and dice. We got Boruto, he is blocking that thing like the champ that he is.
I am the champ.
He learned from the best. We got a little dialogue action, wind style, breakthrough, and then boom, kind of like a force push in Star Wars, Boruto just pushes him out. Yeah.
You're hurting bad.
And then Kawaki, he's floating in mid-air like a bizarre Superman there. He says, Boruto's aura changed locations in a flash. Gotta be that time-space ninjutsu. I bet he's now somewhere. He's where Team 10 first ran into the enemy. Of course, Delta's floating like the blonde hottie she is, and with cape flapping.
Cape flapping.
Cape flapping.
The man understands this.
Delta actually is able to see Jura just standing on the ground there. Kind of looks like an ant from far away there. And then Jura, he just has his hands in his pockets, just pondering, I guess. And then Delta says, no sign of Himawari or Team 10. Sensory unit, do you copy? Are they all safe? And then someone in the sensory unit responds to Delta. Team 10 is wounded, but heading towards the new district. It seems Himawari has met up with Komaharu and Sarada. Boruto is there as well. Alrighty. Some coordination. Alright, we get to page 7 here. And so Delta says, heard that? What next? And then Kawaki, he's just staring at Jura, and Jura is really just standing there, just literally doing nothing. It's like, what are you thinking, buddy? What are you thinking, buddy? And then Kawaki says, that bastard. What the heck is he up to, standing there? Valid point. He's just standing there, not even walking. Not even flying like Superman himself. Yeah, it's all weird. A lot of weirdness here. And then we are back to Boruto and friends. It looks like Komaharu is tending to Himawari. And then, of course, Sarada, Sumeri are up. And then that one other ninja, yellow shirt, red shirt guy. Star Trek reference, I know. So then we go to page 8 here. And then, looks like Komaharu says, what are you plotting, Boruto? Shut up here like nothing's changed? Do you understand your position? Sarada says, stop it, Master Komaharu. Didn't you see? If Boruto hadn't shown up, I'd be dead, or worse. You tell that dumbass, cognitive dissonance affected trash guy.
Because comparatively speaking to the Macho Man Randy Savage, you are nothing but garbage, yeah.
And then, looks like Komaharu then says, watch out. If The enemy can freely manipulate claw marks just like code. Who knows where he could pop up? And then Boruto says, yeah, looks like it. And then Boruto says, hey, you're sensory units. Could you keep your focus on the claw marks? Call out even the slightest movement of chakra? And then he says, what the? You're a traitor. You have no right to. And then, of course, he's going to get interrupted on this next page. Sumeri says, Boruto, this foe is clearly after Sarada just now. He has completely ignored Konohamaru and went for Sarada instead the moment he saw her. And Boruto is listening to this, and then Sarada says, he said he was gonna devour me, plus those moves of his are related, aren't they? To Dad becoming a tree? And then Sumeri and then Konohamaru says, becoming a tree? Wait a sec. By tree, are you referring to what's going on with Moegi? Said Konohamaru. And so then we get to the next page, page 10. Boruto says, this guy came into being using Old Man Sasuke's chakra as a source. But don't concern yourself with that, or hold back at all. Just focus on taking him down in order to save... Okay, he looks like he was about to say Master, but he says, in order to save Old Man Sasuke. And then, of course, Sarada, Sumeri, and Konohamaru are hearing all of this, and Konohamaru says, what is going on? And how do you come by all this info, Boruto? Because he's a genius. Get over it.
Proper perspective.
Page 11. We have Boruto. He says, I said focus, Master Konohamaru, or you'll die. Yeah, that's right. You tell him. If you don't focus, you're going to die. You'll get eaten. Or you'll probably just die.
Proper perspective.
And then, of course, we get a reaction from that Shinobi, yellow shirt, red shirt, Star Trek reference. Says, hey, I sense chakra moving in the claw marks. And then, looks like everyone's alert. And then Boruto says, stay calm. Where? And then looks like you can't tell. It's everywhere. And then looks like the belt. It's near someone's feet. And then Boruto looks like he catches on to some movement. So then we have on page 12. Oh, looks like we got the claw grime Raptoids. Yes, the Raptoids are back. Yeah, I still call them Raptoids because, I mean, look at that. Look at those hind feet. Look like velociraptors. Alright, so we got an invasion again. And then Boruto says, so that's the deal. Sarada, I'll cut down their numbers, since you're the target of that hooded guy. You just fight the ones that come for you. Alright, Boruto taking command of the action there, like a true shinobi jonin. Yeah. So then Sarada acknowledges this. She says, Roger. And then it looks like Konohamaru says, Sumeri, to me. Let's move away from them. Alright, and then now we got some action. It looks like a Raptoid begins his charge. And then Boruto does like a really cool flip move and slices. Oh man, this is going to be so good in the anime, man. This is good stuff. Peak condition of action here. Yeah, look at that. Just look at that. Alright. And then we move on to page 14. Page 14. Looks like Boruto was like in midair with a slicey slice. Yeah, that's really cool acrobatics. And then, of course, it's Sarada's turn. She gets charged. And then she says, oh, yeah! I don't know why she says that, but okay. Yeah, not judging. I guess you need to just call out stuff. Cool, cool. So, we're now at page 15. And then, oh, looks like Hidari, he goes through the belt mark of the actual claw grime Raptoid there. And his hand sticks out. And he grabs Sarada's foot, and then Hidari actually comes out at least halfway length through the torso there, and looks like his arm turns into a tree. He's actually getting ready to devour. All right, and then gah, says Sarada, and then now we have page 16. Boruto, he actually throws a shuriken ninja star at the back of the neck of that claw grime. Looks like Boruto is going to do what his granddad did. Oh yeah, flying Raijin right right behind Claw Grime, and then can we guess what's next? He's gonna do what his grandfather did to Obito, and then Rasengan. Oh yeah!
You're hurting bad.
That's right. Like grandfather, like grandson. Hell frickin' yeah. Great callback. So he hits a Rasengan on Hidari, and he just gets blasted. Ugh! Now we switch over to this next page here, page 18, and then looks like he disappears into the claw mark there. Looks like Sarada says, damn it, he's gonna go heal. And then looks like Hidari, he's back to that little, I guess, headquarters of the Ten Tails there on that black cube. That's how he's healing from his injuries, directly from the tree itself. Page 19. Looks like Hidari, he just kneels or sits down on that black cube, and it looks like the roots of the tree just touch his back like it's a massage there. And okay, it actually heals the area that he was damaged with. And then he reappears through the belt mark right behind Boruto and Sarada at page 20. Alright, now we get multiple claw marks everywhere and really jagged patterns, unpredictable patterns there. And then looks like Sarada, she looks behind her. I mean, I am surprised she's not using her Sharingan, so I'm not sure if she hasn't fully mastered it because of fatigue or stamina issues. Who knows? Hopefully in these next chapters we can find out more. Or maybe the anime could just do like an expanded episode on it. Who knows? We'll have to just keep reading and watching. So then looks like Dari sinks back into the belt mark, and then Sarada says, Boruto, escape up into the sky. I'll draw him out on the ground. Hit him with another Rasengan when he shows. And then Boruto says, nope, I can't. I'm not going up. Alright, I wonder why. So then on page 21, alright, so then Boruto reveals, I'm gonna use the Yuzuko at maximum output. I'll kill him with one blow. And then Sarada says, Yuzuko? And then looks like there's a big explanation on this one panel. Okay, cool. So then further explains the energy of the centrifugal force accompanying a planet's rotation in orbit. I call it a planet's chakra, but Yuzuko is a new Rasengan that utilizes that energy. And then Sarada says, a single shot of this jutsu can take him down without letting him escape via the claw marks? Boruto says it's possible if I don't hold back, because there's absolutely no limits to the Yuzuko's power. Alright, no limit. Yeah, no limit power. Alright, this is going to be so friggin' awesome. And then we get to page 22. And so it looks like Konohamaru tending to Himawari there. And then Boruto says, and then looks like there's that swirly thing there around Boruto. And then Boruto says, but I need to take in that planetary chakra through both feet. It has to be directly from the earth. That's why I can't fly up into the sky. And in order to kill him with a single blow, I'll need quite a lot. Okay, this is almost sounding like it's a type of Sage Mode type of technique. Or some kind of nature attack of some kind that uses some of the fundamentals of Sage Mode. At least that's what I'm theorizing, so that is actually really cool. So we continue with these other panels here. Sarada says, so buy you time, huh? Got it. And so looks like, Konohamaru, he catches on here. He sees the hand that's lurking beneath the belt mark, and then looks like he acts on it in position to assist. Alright, you're not trash at all, Konohamaru. I always believed in you, despite the memes. So, page 23, and it looks like Konohamaru does his own Rasengan type of attack. Rasen Barrier! Alright, cool. Looks like Hidari was about to do that Shidori, so good block there. Alright, and then the hand sinks back into the claw grind belt. Sarada says, Master Konohamaru. And then Boruto says, hey, I thought I asked you to guard Himawari. And then, well, actually, the other shinobi and Sumeri, they're actually tending to Himori anyway, so all is good. And then Komaru decides to say, I'll decide what my priority is, thanks. Instead of complaining, get that jutsu ready. Alright, cool. Alright, we got teamwork. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like old times, we're just missing Mitsuki, which, by the way, where the hell is he? So then we get to page 24, and then looks like Hidari, pop goes the weasel there, out of the belt mark. He grabs with his tree extension hand. He grabs onto Sarda. It looks like Sarda's being pulled like it's a horror film here. And then Komaharu says, Sarda! Page 25. It looks like a hand weave that Sarda's about to do. And then she commands here an electric attack. Shidori Stream! And then Hidari gets electrocuted and kind of self-tased there. Ugh. And hopefully that frees up Sarda. Page 26. It looks like Hidari is losing his grip. And it looks like he's trying to jump and fly away somehow. And looks like his grip is getting a bit loose, so Sarda. Right, and then it looks like Sarda, she then says, Boruto, not yet. So it looks like Hidari is actually in midair. Looks like he kind of got slingshot up out of the claw grime belt mark due to the electric shock. He's just literally shocked. And so we get a lower panel here. Boruto says, to be honest, it ain't perfect, but it's now or never. So he goes all in here. So we get to page 27. Let's see what happens. And then he makes contact with his move, Rasengan Yozugo. Not sure if it's pronounced Yozugo or Yozuhiko. I really don't know. I like Yozugo. I like pronouncing it that way. If it's incorrect, I'm sorry, but I like it that way. So anyway, page 28. Looks like there's a big swirl of motion. Like, oh wow, it's almost like a twister of some kind. And looks like Hidari has this one eye just bulging out of his eye socket. Like, oh my god, what did I just get hit with?
You've had your warning. You've had 2 warnings. And now this time you're hurting bad.
Oh.
You're hurting bad.
And then, page 29. It looks like so on page 29, it's more of like a twister. Oh wow, man, this is so flippin' cool. It's almost like a continuous swirl, 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 swirl.
Take a good look.
It's almost like pop, like, you know how a balloon pops. It's kind of like that. It's like you get like this twister effect, and then pop, and then there's just nothing there anymore, and just an instant reaction from Sarda and Sumeri, just in shock, like, whoa, what just happened? And then looks like Hidari, looks like he's missing some limbs there, so looks like his upper torso is still intact. You can see like the hood there. And then Boruto says, damn it was just a bit short. And so the Hidari guy, he's like in free fall here. And then Boruto says, you ain't getting away. And so looks like Boruto's trying to rush in. And then Hidari's about to make contact. And then before contact, there's like a swoosh effect. Looks like, telling by this, looks like the belt mark might have shrunk. So has Kawaki entered the fight finally? Let's see here. And so Komaru, he is surprised as hell. Hidari basically kind of looks like Frieza on how he got chopped in half with, like, you know, missing the bottom portion with one single arm. And then he just lays there. And then Kawaki has now entered. He has his own arm extension, holds them down like a lobster pincer of some kind. Yeah, it kind of looks like a lobster pincer. And then Boruto says, Kawaki. So now we are at Page 32. Kawaki says, hey, you look to be in pain. Let me ease your suffering. And then looks like he just blasts him right there.
Hurting bad.
All is but dust. Alright, cool. You're not trash after all. Alright. Page 33. It looks like he created a miniature crater there. So Hidari is done. He has been deleted from the battlefield here. And then Sumeri says, Kawaki. Kumaro says, nice work. And then Kawaki just walks around here. And then we get to the next panel, page 34. Looks like there's something that was floating in the air, like some kind of, like a little fruit seedling there. Wow, it almost looks like a vegetable with spikes, like either like a potato, a potato with spikes, a potato spike, potato. Sarda also notices this, and then Kawaki says, what the heck is that? Then Boruto grabs it, and it has that Renegon shape eye there. It's like an alien fruit potato. That's what it's going to be called. The alien fruit potato. Alright, so page 35. Then looks like we got the toad in the collar of Boruto there. Looks like an inaudible communication there. Boruto says, well, you sure this is it? And then Kashin Koji, he speaks directly and say, I've confirmed it. There's no mistake. It's the same as I saw before. It's a thorn soul bulb. And then Boruto says, good. And then Kawaki says, hold up. Explain. What is that thing? Then Boruto says, I was told it's something that will help save my master, who was turned into a tree. And Sarada is intently listening to this. Then Boruto says, let go of me, Kawaki, or I'll cut off your arm. And then Kawaki says, you were told? By whom? Whose info is it? And then looks like a sniper shot, right through the chest of Boruto.
Hurting bad.
Page 37 now. He's been shot. He drops that alien potato fruit there. And everybody's in shock. Sumeri, Sarda, and then now Boruto's on his back, gushing a little bit of blood from his mouth as well, like a tiny drop there. And Sarda just rushes over to Boruto. And now page 38. Boruto, hey, what the heck? And then Kawaki says, Delta, report. And then looks like Jura is just floating through the air. And he says, missed his vitals. And so that was his little miniature Biju bomb bullet pellets thing. I'm going to call it a Biju bullet, quite honestly. It deserves to have the name bullet because he basically just sniped Boruto there. Like, man, got him on his back. So, going to page 39, and then Delta says, for real? He's taking shots from this distance?
Not hiding behind nothing.
Well, we confirmed he is a sniper. Sarda tends to Boruto, and then she looks at that alien potato fruit. So then she remembers that little flashback moment, something that will save my master. So, of course, she rushes to try to grab it, and then her arm gets sniped. Ow, man, that must hurt. Oh, so can somebody, return fire, please?
We are ultimate survivors.
And then, of course, Sarda, her arm is hurt.
Hurting bad.
Komaro says, Sarda. And it looks like the alien fruit is, just hovering around, and it's flying. Holy shit, it's flying like a rocket. And then Komaro, he shouts it out, hey! That bulb, it's flying off. Yeah, the flying potato fruit. The alien potato fruit is flying, yeah. But no cape flapping.
Cape flapping.
And so Boruto says, damn it. And then, of course, it reaches back to Jura. He grabs it. And then Jura, he has his own line of dialogue here. He says, Boruto, that he even knows about the thorn soul bulb already. He's a lot more dangerous than I'd anticipated. Very well. Kawaki alone should be enough as Otsuki fodder. Otsuki Boruto, I've decided that you need to die. And then we end with to be continued. This is so epic. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. This is going to be so great when it becomes the anime. whether it becomes a movie or just continuing the series. I'll be happy with both. Let's just go ahead and just do a movie first and then a series. Hell yeah. Let's do both. It's worth it. It is absolutely worth it. I'm glad I get to be part of history when these chapters release, so then in the next few years, if this video is found, it's going to have precious value in the future. Yeah! I hope you enjoyed my chapter read-through, reaction, review, and commentary. It was more of a commentary than a reaction. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Welcome back. We're at chapter 13. Let's find out what happens in this next chapter. Really excited on these chapters here overall. And so we got Jura. He's just staring down literally at Boruto there after he just sniped him.
Hurting bad.
Looks like Sumri is on the scene to check on Boruto there. Jura says, you're an intriguing lad. I regret doing this, but farewell, Otsutsuki Boruto. Finish him! Kind of like Mortal Kombat, but anyway. And then looks like on this next panel we got that bug clone that just pops up from the little belt mark there. He says, whoops, am I interrupting? Mamashi. So that's his name. Mamashi? Mamushi? I don't know, but he said, what is it? And then Mamushi says, Matusri's back. Based on her investigation, it seems likely that Boruto has an accomplice. So Boruto is just laying there, unconscious. Jura just looks down, and then Jura says, I see, so that's his source of intel on the thorn soul bulb and such. And then looks like the bug clone, he's looking at the actual hand of Jura. He says, hey, that thorn soul bulb you're holding, did Hidari get himself killed? Jura says, our foe is quite formidable. Let's retreat. We can't let Hidari's bulb rot. Just like that, looks like they're just going to retreat just like that instead of finishing off. How cliche that is.
We are ultimate survivors.
So Boruto's still laying there, and then Jura says, Otsutsuki Boruto, you are truly lucky, man. It's as if the heavens are decreeing that you remain alive. Perhaps this is some divine intervention.
Survivors.
Or maybe some plot armor, but that's just my opinion.
Survivors.
And then Boruto is slowly opening his eyes there. Go to pages 6 and 7. Looks like this is a flashback. Oh, cool. I love flashbacks, especially with this story. So we got a more younger, only by a few years younger, Boruto with his long teenage hair there. So it looks like he's hiding from ninjas, and looks like a search crew says he's got to still be nearby. Find him. Damn it, says Boruto. He's just breathing huff. And then looks like there's that toad thing from Kajin Koji. Says, I finally found you, Boruto. And Boruto just looks over and is just surprised. Toad? And so the toad speaks and says, there's roughly 20 shinobi in the area. You're trapped, Boruto, and yet you can't really kill innocent folk. And then Boruto inquires, who are you? Toad says, relax, I'm not a foe. If I were part of the search party, I had alerted them already, without engaging you in small talk. Good point, good point. So, here's the origin story of their alliance. Cool. I'm loving this. So, we're on pages 8 and 9 on these panels. Boruto says, spill it. What's your motive? The toad says, let's get you out of here first. Touch the toad's back. And then Boruto is naturally a bit skeptical of wanting to cooperate just by his body language, and the toad says, there isn't any time to waver. No matter where you end up, it'd still be better than right here, right? Or are you scared of toads? Boruto says, damn it! So he touches the toad, and then it looks like a reverse summoning by Kajin Koji. Alright. Summoning Jutsu, says Kajin Koji. And then, of course, Boruto just appears in that summoning marking circle. Alright. This is looking good. We can finally have our questions answered as to how they got into this alliance. So now, we have Boruto just wondering, where are we? Kajin Koji says, near the Land of Wind, one of Orochimaru's abandoned bases. I've camouflaged the already inconspicuous entrance with Jinjitsu. We won't be able to be found that easily. Kajin says, by the way, that toad is a scientific ninja tool. He's structurally identical to a real toad, except man-made. I manipulated him remotely using my chakra. That was me you were talking to. not the toad itself. Then Boruto says, who are you? You seem to know me. And then Kajin Koji, he gets back his fractured mask and he says, does this ring a bell? Boruto says, that mask? No way. He introduces himself, I am Kajin Koji, an artificial creation brought into being by Sanzu Amano. And we are at pages 12 and 13 here. So then Boruto says, Kajin Koji, how could I forget? You're the one who killed Mr. Ano and tried to kill me and Master Kamaharu.
Our ultimate survivors.
Then Kajin Koji says, can I verify one thing? Have you been Uzumaki Boruto from the moment you were born up to now? Boruto says, huh? Kajin says, yes or no? Answer me straight. So, and then Boruto just needs a moment here, and he says, you know of it? The omnipotence? Kajin Koji says, omnipotence, huh? Inside my head, you are Boruto, Ishiki's vessel, who fled Kara.
Survivors.
My perception is that Amado and I helped you break out, but I'm wrong, no? And then he goes on to say, I don't know a whole lot about the ability you call omnipotence. However, I do have an appreciation of the results it brought about. So, that day you were chased from your village, it appears everyone's memories related to you and Kawaki did get flipped. Alright, so he's affected by the omnipotence already, so we continue to 14 and 15 on these panels. Boruto says, I don't understand. Clearly omnipotence affected your memory as well. So how are you able to grasp the actual state of things so objectively? And that looks like Kajin Koji. He says, because I knew that the possibility this would end up happening was high ahead of time. Boruto says, what? And then looks like Kajin is just looking at his fractured mask there, and he says, I owe you an apology, even if it was to stop Ishiki. I still followed orders and fought all of you. For that I am truly sorry. And then Boruto says, I'm a shinobi too. I know the weight of the mission. Plus, the frustration of not being able to vindicate oneself as someone who's experienced that for quite a long time now. Then Kajin Koji says, as you already know, I was created by Amado in order to defeat Ishiki, and consequently stop his planet-destroying Divine Tree plan. His power far exceeded any of our imaginations, but I was satisfied because I had completed my duty the moment I managed to drag him out of Jigen. I had no fear nor regrets, nor any regrets. I could leave the rest to the Hokage, just quietly awaited death. And now we're at these next panels here. And so, looks like Kajin Koji, he just, I don't know what that is really, but it looks like it's one of those film strips of some kind. And great visual, great visual. I mean, this will make a very good poster if someone were to make this. And so, looks like, with Kajin Koji, it says, it happened suddenly, but as I watch various scenes flash by one another, I realized that these were glimpses of future realities. Oh wow, so Kajin Koji has some type of psychic ability to like see into the future? That would be cool.
That's exactly right.
That would be cool indeed. Cool, I'm liking this. So, we get to we're at pages 18 and 19. So we get this panel with Jigen the Jigen clones, all the Ten Tails clones here, just standing in formation there. And then, wait a second, there's another guy I don't remember seeing before.
I don't know who you are. I'm suspicious. Yeah, I am.
Wow, okay, this is very surprising, but then we'll go ahead and continue here. So then, Kajin Koji says, I realized Ishiki's death wasn't enough. That until Ten Tails itself was destroyed, this planet would continue to be in danger. So there were still things that I needed to do. I couldn't afford to die there.
Our ultimate survivors.
Boruto is just listening to this, and then Kajin says, since then, by comparing what actually took place against the myriad visions I saw that day, I've deepened my understanding and conviction about this ability. Alright, he's a ninja psychic. Yeah, ooh yeah. So now we continue. Boruto is just listening and he says, "Are you saying you knew omnipotence would flip me and Kawaki's positions before it even happened?" Kajin replies with, "That's right, although there are parts I'm confirming for the first time through this conversation, since my perception is that Kawaki has always been the Hokage's son." So Boruto asks, "What is this ability anyway? And how did you come to have it all of a sudden?" And then Kajin says, "I'm sure Amato told you about Otsutsuki Shibai." And then Kajin continues with, "The Otsutsuki who devoured countless planets long ago acquired all sorts of shinjitsu and was even called a god." And Boruto says, "Otsutsuki Shibai." Then Kajin Koji continues with, "Each of us Kara members who was given enhanced modifications by Amato received transplants of Shibai cells without fail, in the hopes that we would manifest at least one of his many shinjitsu, though whether we successfully gained an ability was a matter of luck." As a result, we see a panel of Code, Ida, and Damon there. So as a result, Code makes claw marks, Damon can reflect all attacks, and Ida, or Ada, however you want to pronounce it, has her godlike abilities, but neither Boro, Delta, nor I demonstrated any shinjitsu, and yet when cornered by Shiki upon facing almost certain death, one abruptly emerged. Alright, so basically in the heat of battle, this ability kind of unlocked. Alright, cool, I'm liking this a lot. So then, Kajin says, we're on pages 22 and 23. Kajin Koji says the ability to see all possible futures, prescience, or precedence. I'm not sure how to really pronounce that. And so Boruto says all possible futures. And then we get this panel. Looks like it's like a little panel of like almost like one of those film strips of different various images and sequences. So Kajin Koji says, "This may sound obvious to you, but our future isn't simply one straight path. Many narratives get snuffed out based on which branch of each multi-forked crossroad is taken. It's a battle royale between destinies, so to speak." Battle royale! Oh man. And then we get this panel of Ishiki just choke holding Kawaki there, and then we have more of this voiceover by Kajin Koji. He says, "Take one fate we've already escaped. If Ishiki had killed the Hokage, he'd have resurrected in Kawaki's body and planted a divine tree and the planet would have perished." Boruto says, "What?" Kajin Koji says that ended up not happening, but there was a sufficient likelihood it would. Another example, the day Kawaki caused the Hokage to disappear when the two of you quarreled, say Kawaki had managed to kill you, as well as Uchiha Sarada, who tried to help. And then Boruto's just really listening into this with his facial reaction. And then Kajin Koji says, "In this case, you and Kawaki would never switch positions. Kawaki would go on to lose to a tremendously strong Code and be devoured by 10 tails, and then a divine tree would destroy the planet. It is difficult to prove what I've seen, especially the events that didn't occur. What I want you to understand is that our future has continuously been walking a dangerous tightrope for several years now." Alright, we get to pages 24 and 25. And so Boruto says, "That's one downright crazy story. But I can't ignore the fact that you really get what happened thanks to omnipotence, despite how extraordinary it is." Boruto then continues, "I'd rather not believe that you really saw futures, yet it sure seems to not be completely baseless. Either, I have to admit." And then Kajin Koji says, "That's fine. I'll take it, thank you. One question, aren't things just gonna happen a certain way no matter what?" says Boruto. "So seeing all sorts of futures, how is that helpful?" And Kajin Koji says, "The biggest advantage is intel. For example, your life on the run. It could prevent you from ending up cornered like earlier." Boruto says, "Yeah, That would definitely be helpful. Kajin then goes on and says, or I can impart to the present you moves the Jitsu future you has mastered. Wouldn't that accelerate learning and optimizing training? And then Boruto says, whoa, that's super awesome! That's possible? Wow, okay. He is totally excited. And so Kajin says, there's no timeline paradox since I'm only relaying what I saw. It's totally standard procedure for pre-science. So Kajin Koji says, he continues, I'll also tell you how to rescue Uchiha Sasuke from his tree. And Boruto is just really listening in, and he says, but first I need you to understand the very worst future that's possible right now. Alright, so we go to the next panels on pages 26 and 27. So Boruto says, the very worst future? Kajin Koji says, Ten Tails will break free of Code's control and evolve in a new way. They will likely show up before us as multiple Divine Tree people who possess individual minds. And then Kajin continues on and says, it would be ideal to dispose of Ten Tails' root and branch before that, but the likelihood we'd succeed is low. In nearly all the futures I see, there are Divine Tree people, and the most dangerous among them is their leader, Jura. Like, oh, okay, alright, so he already knows his name, cool, so Boruto says Jura. And then Boruto says, actually this is Kajin Koji, he says, Boruto, he is going to kill you. This is getting so good, oh man. Kind of liking these parallel multiverse time flips or whatever. But anyway, we continue on, 28 and 29 on these panels. So Kajin then continues on, it's not an absolute thing, but many futures show it happening, and what follows is pretty similar. Kawaki gets devoured and our planet dies. Obviously, this must not come to pass. We can't let this worst case become reality. As I mentioned earlier, there are infinite possible futures. And through you learning about this now, our future has already started to change one tick at a time. And then Boruto says, just know, Mr. Koji, whether it's stopping a Divine Tree plan or what not, I'll never agree to any option that involves killing Kawaki, understand? Because knocking sense into my idiot bro and restoring the Uzumaki household is my goal. Alright, just like his dad there, like father like son. Yeah, ooh yeah. So, you get Boruto, he slips on the headband. Oh yeah. Gotta have that swag and riz, or whatever they call it these days.
Things are in proper perspective.
So then he says, whatever the case, the Ten Tails is in my way. That much is clear. So don't bother wasting your breath. I'll do it. Finish off Code and the Ten Tails both. Koji just glares. And then now we switch back to the present. Boruto, with one eye open, and of course his other eye always shut there. And then he's like, ugh. Looks like Sumire says, Boruto, no, don't move. And then it looks like Kawaki is just looking over the shoulder behind him to look at Boruto, and then Sarada just with Komoharu from that shot that she endured from Jura. And looks like Komoharu says, the bone is fine, but damn it, I think the nerves are damaged. And then Sarada says, never mind me, please try it, Boruto. So now we're at pages 32 and 33. Looks like Hima is, looks like she's finally has woken up. Says, oh, Mr. Nishi? And then Nishi says, Himawari, you've come too. Does anything hurt at all? And then looks like we go back to that panel of Sarada being treated by Komoharu. And then it's like we switch back to Hima. She says she's injured. And then Nishi says, oh, hey. And then so it looks like Hima is going to do some healing magic. Let me see. And then instantly like that, it's gone thanks to the Nine Tails powers. Ooh, yeah. Sarada says, what? No way, I'm healed. And then Komoharu says, what the heck is going on? Himawari? He's surprised. All right, yeah. This whole set of chapters have been a surprise here. So anyway, Himura says, since that entry wasn't that extensive, I think this will do it. And then Sumari says, Himari, help Boruto too. And then Himura says, Boruto, he came back? Hold up, Himari. Don't go near him. Himari says, big bro. Sarada says, Kwaki, you. Kwaki says, don't misunderstand. I'll let her heal him. We just got to do something first. Right, Mr. Kamaharu?
That's exactly right, yeah.
And then Sarada says, huh? Kamaharu says, yes, indeed. Can't miss this perfect opportunity. And then Sumari says, Master, what are you... Then Kamaharu says, move aside, Sumari. Oh man, he's going to get captured.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Kamaharu says, don't worry, I'll be gentle. So it looks like he kind of handcuffs him. And then Kamaharu says, Amato's custom sealing jutsu cuts. Now he can't use any type of jutsu. And so, looks like, I think that's Sarada talking, Mr. Kamaharu. And then we got some back talk, back and forth. Looks like Kamaharu's talking now. Don't complain, Sarada. It's a measure dictated by the law. We need the intel he possesses. Alert! Alert, Lord Eighth! And then, what the bloody... Oh, okay, looks like Kwaki found the toad behind the neck of Boruto. And then Kwaki says, isn't this Kajin Koji's? Looks like he squeezes it and it just puffs. Then Kamaharu says, huh? What is it? He says, no, nothing. And then Kajin Koji says, gah, what a bothersome turn of events. Alright, yeah, what a twist. I'm loving these twists. I'm loving it. Loving it. So now we are on pages 38 and 39. We got that little alien fruit orb, sweet potato, the sweet potato alien heart. And then we got that black cube, like the Knights of the Round Table of some kind. And then looks like that little bulb thing is in the center of that cube. And looks like the tree roots. It reconstructs Hidari. Oh, he's a brand new man, brand new clone, brand new Ten Tails. All right. Juro says, well, Hidari, any problems? And then Hidari responds, who knows? I can't tell. Juro says, I see. Good. Seems you know that you're Hidari. Good. Your identity appears to be strong and intact. And it looks like Mitusri says, Jura, isn't it time? And then now we get to these pages to 40 and 41. Okay, pages 40 and 41. And Torsia says, for that. And then looks like there's a bulb that's kind of sprouting from the roots. And Matusri says, I'm chomping at the bit to see what's going to emerge. And then looks like Joe says, fine, harvest it. So then Matusri does whatever she does. And then the bulb just sprouts out and lands on that cube. And then, oh, okay, that's going to be that one character I saw from that panel that wasn't part of the original team there. Okay, so Jura says then, now, what to name you? To be continued. Great stuff. Oh, my frickin' lord. This is going to be so great in the anime. All right, well, if you enjoyed this chapter 13, pre-science, make sure you like the video, subscribe and share. Ring that bell for more. And until next chapter, same Hansakin content, same commentary. Oh yeah! Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Chapter 14. Duty. Yes, duty. Right here, duty. I think that's what it says. And so, on this cover, we got the clone of Jiraiya, Kashin Koji. So let's flip the page and see what has happened. So, of course, we get Boruto already in the interrogation room here. And then, looks like Kamaharu, he's doing the interrogation interview process as Boruto is slowly opening his eyes. You've finally come to. Relax. Your wounds have been healed. Oh, how sweet. And then, to the next panels here, Boruto notices that he is cuffed behind the chair. And looks like Komaharu says, they're sealing jutsu cuffs created by Yamato. No amount of weaving signs will lead to jutsu activation. They even suppress her favorite teleportation. And don't even think about trying to break them. They may be electronic, but they're extremely resistant to impact. You'll just injure your arms. And then Boruto is finally just looking up with his one eye there. And then Boruto says, is everyone else okay? And where's the enemy? Komaharu responds with, the enemy's run off. There's no sign of their chakra in or around the village. We lost several comrades this round, but their actual targets like Sarada and Homurari are safe as they are Inoshika O Trio. And then we cut to, looks like Sakura is doing her medical ninjutsu on Sai's son. Good for him. He's getting the treatment that he needs there.
We are ultimate survivors.
Hole in one here, no pun intended.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Sakura says, this is incredible. He's been healed so completely it's hard to believe. His belly had been run through. And then so we get, looks like the rest of the team, they've gathered around with Ino. And then looks like this might be Chocho speaking. Then he'll be okay. And then Shikadai says he hasn't even twitched. And then Ino says, will he wake up? Sakura then continues to say, looks like his chakra flow was disrupted. But no worries, once I get it going again, he'll eventually come to. Good thing you brought him here. And then Himawari is just a sigh of relief. Whew, yeah. Sigh of relief. Good job.
We are ultimate survivors.
Good job indeed. So then we get to these pages 6 and 7. Ino is looking at her child here with that worried face, and now we are back to the interrogation room. And so we continue on with Komaharu says, now Boruto, let's have a chat. I've got tons of questions for you.
Yeah, all conversations put aside right now, you know what I mean? And there's a change going on in this world right now, yeah.
And so we switch to the elders that are still alive after all these years from the original Naruto.
We are ultimate survivors.
Looks like the old granny, she asks, first off, who were those guys?
I don't know who you are. I'm suspicious. Yeah, I am.
And then looks like Amato just looks like he's either observing or overlooking the conference of some kind with the voiceover of who attacked Konoha. And then we switch over to this panel. We have Shikamaru just looking at the glass here, the observation glass, to watch Boruto. Why do they want Sarada Himawari? And so we switch back to Ida and her little bro, Damon. Ida, with her Senrigan, says, it started. Boruto's interrogation. And then looks like Kawaki's just chilling. Ida says, it ain't looking good, Kawaki. Well, actually, this is Damon says. He says this directly to Kawaki. What's their plan if Boruto decides to let all the cats out of the bag? So then we switch over to pages 8 and 9. Kawaki just has no answer. And then Damon, it's almost like he has this taunting smirk. I mean, there probably isn't anyone loony enough to believe that your positions are flipped, but you did outright lie about Boruto killing the Hokage. I wonder how everyone will react when they find out. And then Ida says, I told you not to bring that up, Damon. Quit poking at Kawaki. Kawaki then replies with, it won't change anything. No matter what Boruto says, it is still his fault that Lord Seven disappeared. Then Kawaki continues with, a dangerous Otsutsuki who could rampage at any moment. That's his nature. That's his true nature. Killing him is the only option, whether it's now or later. But before that, and then we switch over to the panel here, to the left, says, we need to extract the intel he has, so we're able to deal with those mysterious monsters. And so it looks like
Mitsuki, he is outside. Not sure if he's directly outside that building there or that or whatever. So we just continue on, and then looks like Komuraru says divine tree people who possess self-consciousness. Then Boruto replies and explains, yeah, each one reflects the chakra of a person devoured by the Ten Tails and turned into a tree. For example, Old Man Sasuke was the base model for Hidari, who you just fought. I've also seen one called Matsuri, or Matusuri, as I've been pronouncing it, whose base model is Master Moegi. And then Komuraru says Matsuri. So then we switch to pages 10 and 11. So Boruto says, be careful, Master Komuraru. The one Matusuri is eager to devour is you. And Komuraru replies with, what? And then, looks like we're back to Amado with his own set of panels. It's been a while since we've heard from him. In fact, I don't think I've even seen him. This is like probably the first time I've seen him in all of Boruto here. Boruto Tuple Vortex. So he then says, the Ten Tails' intended purpose is to devour an Otosuki, become a divine tree, and puts down roots in the ground, in order to suck the planet dry and of life and produce a chakra fruit. It knows this instinctively. And then we continue with, but now that they've acquired intelligence, we should view them as more than just a simple beast that acts on impulse. In general, intellectual curiosity seeks experience that lead to new emotions and knowledge, namely, information. I suspect that's what they want. And so, looks like this might be on a transmission type of, the mind transmission communication. So Komuraru says, information, huh? And then we see a little smirk from that one shinobi who's been around since Naruto. I always forget his name, but he has those scars, very distinguished if you remember the Naruto anime. So, Komuraru says, then, you're saying that they're trying to gain information by devouring Sarada, Himawari, and me? Boruto says something like that. And the one egging them all on is their leader, Jura. Shikamaru is, now he replies with Jura. And then we get a shot of Jura here, and it's just a voiceover from Boruto continues with, he's a special case. Unlike the others, he has no prototype. He is a direct incarnation of the Ten Tails, and the one steering this crisis we're facing right now. Right, so we move on to pages 12 and 13. Amado is observing, and then we get a shot of those two elders. And then Boruto then explains further that, in short, if we can defeat Jura, this planet would stop being in danger. And then Komuraru inquires with, how are you so certain? And then he then further inquires, why do you know these things? How did you figure it out? And then Komuraru, he then continues with, answer me, Boruto. Our decision on whether to trust you or not depends on it. Boruto says, I have a source, but sorry, I can't reveal his identity. Then Komuraru says, what? Then looks like we get reactions from that other shinobi and Amado. And then Boruto says, he asked me not to, for his own safety. Alright, so then, since we're keeping it down the down low here, pages 14 and 15, Komuraru says, not acceptable. You expect us to believe a traitor's tale without a single ounce of evidence? Boruto says, back at ya. Most of you want me dead. The only reason I'm still alive is because of my intel, right? Says Boruto. Yeah, that's right.
That's exactly right, yeah.
And so it looks like the old elder says, through the mind transmission, don't get cocky with us, renegade. Then Shikamaru is just looking. Boruto is just staring down. And then the elder continues with, whatever or whomever those monsters desire, what we of Konoha must do does not change. Any hostile elements will be eliminated, using all means necessary. Then Boruto is just listening to all of this, and then the elder says, that includes you, Boruto. Regardless of what you say or don't, know that there is no chance of you leaving that room alive.
No doubt about it, yeah. Super guarantee.
And Shikamaru looks like he's sweating a little bit, getting a bit nervous, but still has that legendary poker face there.
Super guarantee.
And so the elderly lady, it's about time she talks, so she says, so given that, speak with caution. Based on your words, we could at least offer you a painless death.
Because I'm gonna be bad to you.
Oh, geez. So he's gonna die no matter what.
Super guarantee.
Oh, wow. Okay, so if he tells them, he's dead. If he doesn't tell them, he's still gonna die.
No doubt about it, yeah.
So, wow, it's just a really bad deal here. So then the elderly lady continues on with, tell us, Boruto, whatever did you lay a hand on? Uzumaki Naruto Lord 7th? Now we're at pages 16 and 17. So then Shikamaru says, well, it looks like this might be a voiceover of some kind coming elsewhere. He says, all right, I hear you. But Boruto, if you have no intent to kill Kawaki, you need to understand that you'll continue taking false blame regarding Naruto. Seeing as the effect lies with Kawaki, I'd like to avoid making him feel cornered again, which means not exposing what he did quite yet. So you'll need to stay a fugitive. You okay with that? Yeah, that's fine. Wasn't expecting otherwise. So this was actually a flashback. And then now we get to Shikamaru. He says, looks like he really is directly communicating. He says, huh? What exactly is it that lies with Kawaki? And on what basis do I find Boruto trustworthy? Looks like this is his inner monologue, so he's just thinking to himself. He's trying to just critically think here and try to play 3D chess on the field here. So then Boruto looks like he's staying silent here, and then Shikamaru looks like he's compelled with his inner monologue. I don't know, and yet somehow, for no logical reason, I am convinced that he is Uzumaki Boruto. I have the memory of deciding to believe that. Alright, looks like he's coming around. Alright, Shikamaru.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Bail out our bro here, please. So, Boruto is just looking, staying silent, and then Shikamaru says to himself again, and that accepting this premise leads to everything falling into place, which means I can't let Boruto die here and now. Boruto says, I didn't kill him. Lord 7th is alive. His wife, too. They're both somewhere safe. And then Komurawa says, what? And then Amato, he's just smoking his cigarette. Ida is still watching. And then the elderly lady says, of all things you could say, they're both somewhere safe? And where is that? Why do they need to hide? Then Boruto says, I'm not telling. Then Ida is looking over this with her singer gun. All right, we got witnesses all around. So pages 20 and 21. So Kawaki's just chilling like the villain he is. And then we're back to the elderly guy. He says, you dropped such a tall tale now? I'm speechless. Boruto says, I just don't intend to reveal anything to you. I haven't told a single lie. And then Amato, he looks like he's still puffing on that cigarette there, and then the elder guy, he says, insolent brat, you seek a painful death. And then looks like this other shinobi, I always forget his name, but he's been around since the original Naruto. He says, good, that's the spirit. And so Boruto, he's just looking, and then looks like this shinobi is really just warming up his hands there, and he says, we're finally heading into the direction of the real interrogation. Boruto.
Because I'm gonna be bad to you.
He approaches, Shikamaru has to watch this, and looks like we get a intercut here with Shikamaru communicating with Ino. Ino, it's me. How is Inoji doing? So then we get to pages 22 and 23. She replies with, he's good. Still asleep, but abnormal. And then Shikamaru replies with, that's relief. I'm glad, truly. And then Ino says, stop beating around the bush. This is about Boruto, right? And he replies with, yeah, things aren't good. I want to talk to him off the grid again. Can you pull him into transmission right now? And then Ino says, is that an order, Hokage? And then Shikamaru says, and then she replies with, I've said this before. Personal use of the mind transmission jutsu is against regulations, plus all content is required to be reported. Even our conversation now is already violating 5 regulations. And then it looks like Shikamaru has to remind her once again, I told you it's a top secret mission. You're the only one I can ask. Replies with, I'm worried about you. Why do you champion him so much? I just don't understand.
The cream of the crop.
Shikamaru says, I get how you feel your distrust, but please trust me. I need your help. I'm not worrying you as a Hokage, but as a friend. And then, just glares and just looks at her son. And then says, cool your head, Shikamaru. This can't keep happening. It needs to stop. I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. Shikamaru says, Ino, wait! Ino! Oh no, what a twist, what a twist! What is gonna happen? Oh man! Cliffhanger. So, we are now at the part where the shinobi, he's right behind Boruto, and he's just ready to do something any second now. If he replies with, if Lord 7 is safe, tell us where he is. If you can't, your claim isn't going to fly, and you'll die disgraced as the Hokage killing traitor. And then, just like what the Batman did the Joker and Dark Knight, BAM! Head on the fucking table.
Bad to you. Bad to the bottom of the heart of stone.
Head on the table.
You've had your warning. You've had 2 warnings. And now this time you're hurting bad.
Man, he ate the table. He's bloodied up a bit, and
You're hurting bad.
as the shinobi just grabs his head and just takes a good stare at him, he says, you see, Boruto, I've been itching to pummel the crap out of you for killing Naruto these last 3 years. And then Boruto says, it must be nice to have so much free time. And then he gets punched. Oh man, hell yeah, Boruto. Give him that smart aleck talk.
On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are, yeah.
Probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
So then we get to pages 26 and 27, and then now a punch in the gut. Blood is dripping there. And then the shinobi says, nice glare. Let's see how long it lasts. And then Shikamaru says, Ibiki, enough. It's useless. He isn't the type to break under pain. Looks like this gets a reaction from Ibiki, that shinobi, random shinobi, and then Kamaharu. And then Shikamaru says, let's use Venom. Summon Mitsuki. And then Kamaharu says, Lord 8th, I don't think that's wise. And then he says, Mitsuki has shown strong killing urges towards Boruto. Forget interrogation. Worst case, he may just try to kill Boruto outright the moment he sees his face. Shikamaru says, that's fine. I'll take the fall. Call him in now. Nita is just watching this. Oh man, this is such a cliffhanger, such a cliffhanger. I'm loving it. So, pages 28 to 29. Ida says, it doesn't look like Boruto's planning to tell them what you did, Kawaki. Kawaki says, what? And then Ida then further goes on, he seems to be trying to protect your standing in Konoha. And then Kawaki just listens, and then Damon is just surprised. He says, what the heck? Why would he do that? I don't get that guy. Alright, and then here comes Mitsuki. Looks like there's a nice keypad here, like a security keypad that you see at security. Shikamaru says, here, go on in. There's a weird handshake of some kind between the two. Mitsuki, remember, we are shinobi, and this is a mission. Control your emotions and perform your duty. Understand? So that ends that sequence. Now to the panels on pages 30 and 31. So Mitsuki opens the door. He walks in. Kamaharu and Boruto are right there in the middle. And then Kamaharu says, listen, Mitsuki, Boruto is a material witness. There's a chance he's hiding intel critical to Konoha's safety. Our purpose is to extract that information, remember. Do not kill him, alright? And then so Boruto, he says, hey Mitsuki, are you still idiotically searching for your son? Mitsuki goes into sage mode. Alright, looks like he's ready to kill, but is he really going to kill him? And then so Mitsuki, he goes ahead and looks like he just freaking takes off. He has his elbow down on his neck. Looks like up against the wall. And then Kamaharu says, Mitsuki! And then Mitsuki says, is that all you have to say? Ungrateful traitor? You fool! Stand down! And so then we see some snakes right behind, or just maybe a single snake, uncuffing the cuffs there. Looks like Boruto's kind of noticing this already. And then looks like Mitsuki, your stuff is in the West Wing security office. There are 2 guards. So he whispers this. Alright, nice plan, nice plan. And then, looks like Kamaharu, he says, damn it, I warned you! So then now we're at pages 34 and 35. Looks like Boruto is free and clear. He says, just be clear, I don't see any of you as foes. I'm even okay sharing intel as needed, which I'll decide. And how you use it will be entirely up to you.
Super guarantee.
And so he disappears like his grandpa with the flying Raijin, Thunder God. Yeah, he is gone. And then, looks like Kamaharu says, no way, he slipped the cuffs. Kibi, he says, God, I thought they were supposed to be resistant even to high impact. That damn bastard Amato voicing such junk on us. Alright, they completely fell for it. So, Kamaru says, looks like this is his own inner monologue. Mitsuki unlocked them? No, it can't be. Only Ibiki and I and Lord 8th know the 4-digit key code. And besides, Mitsuki has no reason to help Boruto. And then looks like we get a flashback moment of Shikamaru, through that handshake, gives the combination lock there. Alright, good plan. Very coordinated, and Kamaru has already caught on. Alright, so then, Boruto has teleported where the two guards are, where all his stuff is stashed. And then they are surprised, what? Then Boruto says, don't feel bad, it's not your fault. And then he disappears. Hey, stop! Oh man, the slick one, alright. Really taking after his grandpa here.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Mitsuki looks like he has a private conversation with Komaharu. I'm so sorry, Master Komaharu. I lost my cool and blew it. He says it's understandable. Look, Lord 8th sanctioned this plan, so don't beat yourself up. Then it looks like the elders are having their commentary. What an absolute blunder. You wasted our one opportunity to bring him down. Then Shikamaru says, looks like he's just going through the motions, like, oh yeah, I totally know, but, I'm going to go ahead and say the scripted response here. My apologies. I'll launch a manhunt. And then the elderly lady says, the daimyos will be quite unhappy without a doubt. Beware, Shikamaru. There shall be lasting consequences from this.
Yeah, things are in proper perspective.
Oh man, not the daimyo, anything but that, but anyway. We are on pages 38 and 39. Shikamaru, he is just, looks like he finally pops a cigarette. Wow, it's been a while since he's had to do this. It looks like there's some outside dialogue that says, I said move aside. I told you, I just want to talk to him. And then Shikamaru says, God, what now? Let them in. Then it looks like Sarada and Sumari, they barge in, and Sarada says, Lord 8th, what was the result of Boruto's interrogation? And then Shikamaru says, he escaped. And then Sarada is just shocked by this. Huh? And then Shikamaru, he said, looks like he gets a call here. Lord 8th. He's received an emergency call from Lord Kankuru of the village of Sand. Okay, so Kankuru, he says, it's been a while, Shikamaru. Sorry to bother you. And then, of course, Shikamaru replies with, Kankuru, what's going on? And then he says with, Gaara's been taken down. His adopted son, Shinki, too. Then Shikamaru says, what? So it looks like the hidden leaf is not the only one to get attacked by these claw grinds. They are everywhere! So then, we can now finally know who this mysterious figure that we saw in the previous chapter. Kanekuru says, Shinki's got that tree affliction. Fortunately, they're both alive. I'll explain more later, but forgive my blindness, could you lend us a hand? And so we're back to the tree grime clones. They say, looks like Matusari or maybe Jura, one of them are saying this. They say, finally awake? How do you feel? Ryu? Dun dun dun, to be continued. So this new member of the group is Ryu, not to be confused with the guy from Street Fighter. Well then, this is gonna be so great in the anime. Alright, well, if you enjoy my commentary reaction to chapter 14, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, and until next time, same Hansen King content, same Nerdy Bear, everything, yeah! Welcome back. Chapter 15 is here. It's called A Vibrant Life.
The cream of the crop.
A Vibrant Life, alright, that's an interesting title.
That's exactly right.
Alright, and we got the new guy, who looks like a clone of Shinki. He is Ryu, not to be confused with the guy from Street Fighter. But Ryu, yeah.
As the time grows near, yeah. It's just begun to psych up.
So now we flip to the page. And obviously, due to copyright reasons, I cannot show you every single panel. But I can show you the good stuff, because the good stuff is what matters.
That's exactly right.
The good stuff always matters. Yeah.
Yeah!
So on this page here, we are in the land of sand, and looks like we're kind of in an underground cavern of some kind. The Sand Village Ninjas, there's Shinki right there. Ah! And then he shouts out, why, father? Please undo your sand. Let us fight with you. Alright, we got the power of youth in action, yeah. So, get to this next page, and then we got Gaara. He says, no, I'm transporting you out of here. You're to escape. That's an order. Understand? And then Shiki says, father! And then we got Gaara. He's standing with Looks like he's face to face with Moegi, or not Moegi, the Moegi clone, Matusri. Matesri, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Matusri. She then says, I told you, I only came here following the trail of Boruto and his accomplices. None of you really matter to me. Alright, looks like she's ready to dispose of these ninjas, so we're on page 4 here. Now we got Matusri and her lovely outfit there. Wow, it actually looks nicer and close up. Can't wait to see the cosplay on this when the time comes. But anyway, she then says, hey, if you don't do something about that wound, you're going to die. Gaara's already been stabbed or impaled of some kind. And then she goes on to say, I don't think you have the luxury of being concerned about the kids behind you. And then Gaara responds with, that's why I'm doing this. I cannot have these promising youth die here, even at the cost of my own life. All right, the power of youth. The power of youth. Where's my guy when you need him? He will always say the power of youth. Matusri then says, fine then. If you're not going to resist, I'm okay with letting them go. Gaara, he waves a hand command, and then looks like all the young Power of Youth shinobi there. Looks like they'll be on liftoff here soon. Some of the youth here says, Lord Kezakage. Gaara says, Sunagutri future is in your hands. Gaara is now face to face with the Raptoids here, and they go on a rampage. One has like a little snarling hissing sound, and then Shiki, bottom left panel, witnessing this. I can almost guess what he's about to do here. And so it looks like yes. Look at this hand gesture here, hand weave. Looks like he's about to summon something, and it looks like he's summoning the Iron Sand that he was known for. If you've watched the anime, you know exactly what it looks like. Breaks free of the sand shell from Gaara, and then he does another weave here, and then we're now at page 7. Magnetic particle barrier palm. That looks really cool. Wow. I cannot wait for this to be in the anime. It is going to be so freaking fire.
That's exactly right.
So then we get to page 8. Just going to go at a page at a time here compared to other videos, reactions where I did multiple panels in 2 pages. So this makes it easier. So then Gaara says, Shinki, no! Looks like a big dome or ball of the iron sand. So it protects him from that Raptoid, or those 2 Raptoids there. And of course the Raptoids, they show frustration. Grrr. So then Shinki says, Father, you are still needed for Gokuri's future. And then Matusri says, oh, you bad boy. Not doing as your papa says. Damn right, he's rebellious. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the man.
Got page 9, a claw grime Raptoid. Crunch. Yeah, it literally kind of says crunch, although it's misspelt there. And then, of course, the comrade said, Shinki, no, you know. And then he is now a tree, rocking around the Shinki tree. He shouts out his final words, don't mind me. Go, tell Uncle Kankuru what's happened. And now we are at page 10 in this action-packed chapter. And then, of course, I keep forgetting these 2 shinobi's names. But anyway, they obviously say Shinki! And then Shinki is now officially a tree rocking around the Shinki tree. And he is now fully devoured with his arms extended out like he wants to give someone either a hug or a push. Page 11. Right in front of Shinki tree, iron sand ball that protects Gaara. And looks like maybe the tree branch has already crept inside of it, if I'm looking at this panel correctly. Here, Matusri just stands. She carefully observes the iron sand ball that Gaara's encased in. Page 12, Matusri says, even though he's become a tree, his sealing jutsu persists. Seems it stays in effect as long as he's alive. And then Matusri then concludes here, he risked his life to protect his master. That kind of grit is admirable. He might make an interesting teammate. Bum, bum, bum. Interesting teammate who will be Ryu. And so we switch back to the That building right here, line of fire. Page 13. Here's Kangaroo. I don't know why they killed him off in the anime.
That's exactly right.
Or maybe he didn't die in the anime. Well, anyway, who cares? We'll figure it out later when the time comes. And so he further goes to explain, as per the detachment, Shinki appears to be alive despite becoming a tree. And thanks to that sealing jutsu, he set Gaara, while tethering on the edge, has also escaped death. However, it is impossible to save him at the present, because only Shinki himself can undo that barrier. And it looks like a class rep and Sarda are listening in on this. And then Kangaroo, he then goes on, he says, so for Gaara's sake too, we want to restore Shinki first. Teach us how if you know. And then Shikamaru says, understood. I have one question, Kangaroo. Since that day, has anyone bearing the same chakra signature as Shinki been spotted in the vicinity? Class rep is just looking, not saying anything, just observant, and then Kangaroo says, no, there's no such report so far. And Shikamaru says, okay, good, but keep an eye out. In terms of the tree state, we're still investigating. We're analyzing our intel and devising countermeasures. As soon as we have anything, I'll share it. And then Kangaroo says, thanks. Oh, and Shikamaru? And then looks like Shikamaru is listening in, and then Kangaroo says, could you keep this from Tamari for now? Don't want her to get worried. And of course, as you may know, Shikamaru is married to Tamari, so then he responds with, right, sure. All right, good old brother-in-laws there. Hell yeah, gotta keep it in the family.
That's exactly right.
So then Sarda, she then says, you don't mean we're going to start seeing more of them? Shikamaru says, potentially yes. We've got to consider the possibility. Listen, if Boruto contacts you, let me know. I just want more of his intel. And then Simuri and Sarda, they acknowledge, yes sir. And then we got the Toad there, left side. Okay, so Kajin Koji's Toad on this left side here, bottom left side. Page 16, we see now Ryu standing tall. Really decorative outfit. That's like a really cool trench coat. He probably has the coolest trench coat of all. And then we switch over. He then now talks for the first time and says, Ryu, is that my name? Then Juro says, that's right. I came up with it. Your name is the most fundamental piece of information you need in order to establish your identity. Now we are at page 17. He then goes on, Ryu says, Ryu, eh? You know me well, Elder Jura. Quite taken with it. And then looks like Matusri says, what the? So it looks like Matusri was surprised by something. And Ryu says, shh, a moment please, dear elders. Oh, actually there's an interesting note here on this panel. It says, note, Ryu can mean grain of sand. Oh, all right. Okay, that's interesting. Street Fighter Ryu, he's been sand all this time? I don't know. I don't know Japanese.
That's exactly right.
But anyway, so we see this panel here. It looks like something comes out of his, like, trench coat there, and looks like it's going to manifest an arm here. Oh, okay. So that's like the black sand type of thing. Oh my god, he is going to be such a pain in the ass to fight. Holy crap. So then now, page 18. Oh, looks like Code. Looks like this is Code's eyeball. Oh, man. And so he basically just grabs Code. You can see him right there. He grabs him with that sand arm extension there. Oh, my freaking lord. And then here we go. Matusri says, oh. And then the bug clone. Forgot what the bug clone's name is. I'm sure they'll mention his name eventually. And then Ryu is just holding up Code, the disposable minion he is. He says, grah! Let me go, damn it! Then Shinki says, what's up with him? He seems to be lurking and sniffing around. No matter. Release him. His name is Code, and all of us here owe our existence to him. And then Code is just being strangled by Ryu, and then Ryu replies with, wow, really? Of course, Code is let down. He's coughing from being gagged right there, and then Juro says, what are you doing here, Code? Do you have need of us? Then Code says, huh, you're kidding, right? What the heck are you all standing around for? Why aren't you trying to devour Otosuki? And then Juro says, we plan to eventually, but in the meantime, there is a mountain of other concerns taking priority. And then, so we are at this next page. So we're at page 21. And so, looks like the dialogue continues on. You hold a grudge against Boruto, no? He's a target of elimination for us as well, so feel free to go kill him. Quacky alone is sufficient as fodder. And then Code replies, hey, that's quite an attitude you're copying. I'll be the one to decide who I'm gonna kill. You monsters just concentrate on devouring Otosuke. And then Code goes on with trying to be like a boss here, like the typical middle management that wants to micromanage you here. He replies with, and while you're at it, don't you forget that the chakra fruit's mine. I will become the new Otosuke and inherit Ishiki's will.
I just don't want a piece of the pie. I want that whole pie!
And then Jura has that Jigen stare of stares here. He says, chakra fruit, eh? A mass of highly dense energy and the genetic information of all life on a planet. I wonder, what would happen if we divine trees eat it? I kind of have to wonder too. Wow, this is a twist. We are now at page 22. The Tusri, the bug clone, and then Hidari, they're listening in. Code says, hey, did you just imply that you're thinking of defying me? You clearly need to be taught what pain is. And so he opens up a belt mark. He tries to go through the belt with his hand. He's going to do something. And then on page 23, there is a Code's claw hand. Looks like he's going to do something to Jura. And then, of course, Jura uses his Biju bomb pellet to cut off the arm. Well, in this case, more like the wrist, but I guess it's still fundamentally the arm there. Sucks to be you, Code. I knew you weren't going to be a villain. You were just going to be a glorified henchman at best. And so page 24 looks like that hand is just on the ground there, and obviously Code is going to be in pain, and there he is. And then Jura replies with compliment, a very polite compliment here. He says, I am truly grateful to you, Code. You bestowed upon us the ability to think freely. Thanks to you, we now enjoy glorious days full of stimulation. We want stimulation? Go drink some alcohol, see what that happens. Well, anyway. So then, on this next page, Code is, of course, in pain from losing his wrist, arm there. And then Jura continues on, I think your life actually lacks a wee bit of motivation. So out of respect to you, our benefactor, I believe I shall assign you a task. Looks like Code can never win. He's got to take orders from somebody. He can never be a villain here. He truly is a glorified henchman.
That's exactly right, yeah.
So then Jura goes on with his Jigen stare. He says, Otosuke Boruto and his as yet unidentified accomplices. Find and kill them. Then Code is just trying to listen to this in pain, and Jura continues on with, succeed, and in exchange, I promise to offer you the chakra fruit. And then he looks like Jura then concludes with, well, does that not inject some color into your faded life? I mean, despite that insult, he's very polite about it, just like Jigen. So then we're now at page 26. And so it looks like Code, he expands his belt mark here, almost looks like a starfish here. And then he's like breathing and huff, huff, damn it. And then looks like the bug clone, he's actually kind of just laughing at this. Why is it that when I watch your pitiful flailings, I feel so refreshed? And then Code replies with, how dare you mock me, you bastards! Well, Code, you are definitely taking the L here, so page 27 now. Code says, you don't need to tell me twice. I'll do it. I'll kill both Boruto and his accomplices. It's a deal.
Be the man, you gotta beat the man. Validity! I'm gonna be the man to beat the man!
And in return, by any means, I'll have you hand over the chakra fruit.
I want that whole pie!
And then Jura then says, I'm pulling for you. Good luck. I eagerly look forward to seeing where your destiny leads. And then Code, looks like he's taking an exit in his belt here. He says, smirk while you still can, for I'll be the one who has the last laugh. And Hidari just stares, and then now we are at page 28, and Ryu replies with, what a nasty creep. May I kill him the next time he shows up? And then Jura says, you are free to do so, but your current priority is something else. And so Ryu is listening in. He says, your instinct. Turn your ears inward to your heart. so that you can see the face of the target you are meant to devour. And then, looks like Shinky... It's like he ponders a moment, and then he says, that's already a given. A special jutsu might have him sealed away right now, but since I'm able to release said jutsu, then Jura says, say it out loud. Who is your choice? Ryu says, the 5th Kazekage, Gaara of the Sand, of course. Okay then. So now we are at page 30. We got Boruto. He is on the mountain of the heads of the Hokages, and right on top of his father's head there, looks kind of like an ant from a distance, but it's really cool. It's going to be so cool in the anime when this happens. So we got Boruto just chilling there, and he's got some company now. Looks like that is Kawaki is going to keep him company. Kawaki just now stares at him. This is looking kind of familiar from like that first episode of Boruto, or even the first chapter of the manga of Boruto. And then Boruto says, are you alone? Kawaki replies with, yep, though Ida's probably watching. Boruto says, what's wrong? Why haven't you attacked? Kawaki says, I want to know why you haven't told Konoha the truth. So now for page 32, he says, Boruto says, nothing good would come of it. And looks like Kawaki is listening intently. Boruto then continues on, while some might believe me, there will be others who won't. It will just create division and confusion. I'd rather avoid that. And then Kawaki is still listening. And then Boruto says, at least right now, Konoha is functioning normally. That's good enough. Let them persecute me as a rogue ninja. Besides, I've been able to gain unwavering strength thanks to my teacher.
That's exactly right, yeah.
That's right. Sasuke taught him best. Considering that Sasuke was a rogue ninja himself, he is the most qualified to ever teach Boruto these things. So then, we got Kawaki. He now says, what about that bastard Momoshiki? Things aren't settled with him yet, are they? From what I saw earlier, you still can't control your karma. And then it looks like Boruto is going to reveal more things about this, so he then reveals, about 2 years ago, when my teacher and I fought code together, I used my karma for the first time since I left the village. That's when I sensed it. Something similar to the feeling I got whenever Momoshiki possessed me. So now page 34, Kawaki says, what? Then Boruto continues on, a feeling where I stopped being who I am and started dying while still conscious and aware. Since then, I haven't used karma once. And then Kawaki then asks, why did it happen? What brought it on? Boruto replies with, I don't know. He's been completely quiet these past 3 years, but it's possible that activating karma will cause him to emerge. And Kawaki says, damn it. So in some ways, things have gotten worse. Yeah, it looks like Momoshiki, he's just really waiting it out. He's playing the long game. He's just waiting to possess him. Okay, so then, page 35, Boruto says, Kawaki, you've probably realized this already, but those Divine Tree people are no ordinary enemy. Kawaki says, huh? Boruto then reveals, especially Jura. I can't take him down by myself. I need your help. Kawaki says, hey, don't change the topic. We're not done discussing Momoshiki. Kawaki, man, you are not a very smart ninja. You should actually be listening in on what Boruto has to tell you how to defeat these tree people. But anyway, Boruto then continues, all I'm saying is that the divine trees come first. Once they're gone, if I happen to lose it and run amok, then go ahead and kill me.
That's exactly right, yeah, and I don't care where it is.
Page 36. On these panels, Boruto then reveals, but for either situation, you need to get a lot stronger. You're my dad's student. Normally, the ideal thing would be for you to free him and have him train you directly. But that's not a realistic option, because it'd take too long. And then Kawaki's listening, and then Boruto then reveals, Kawaki, what I'm about to tell you is a conclusion that you would have reached on your own sooner or later. So since quicker is better, here it is. And so Kawaki's just surprised by this, and he says, hold on, what are you saying? All right, we're going to find out a shortcut, like a cheat code of some kind. So page 37. Boruto then says, get Amato to talk. He's been hiding your powers from you. Kawaki says, huh? Boruto then reveals, in addition to putting limiters on your offensive capabilities, he's adjusted your defensive and regenerative abilities to above maximum levels. Kawaki's then, what? That geezer, and looks like Amato's watching this. He's watching this conversation through Kawaki's eyes, and of course Kawaki's reacting, that geezer? So of course Kawaki is surprised. What? That geezer? Likely because he can't afford for me to die. That's right, you're an insurance policy. So then, we are at page 38. Then Amato says, Ga, how did Boruto find out? And then it looks like there's a flashback of when Kawaki smashed that toad in one of the previous chapters there. Amato looks like he has his little inner monologue. He then says then that toad minion the other day was the real deal. But even if it was, it's hard to believe Koji is alive. And say that he were... What could he do at this point? What's his motive? And then Boruto says, Amato needs your karma for his own self-serving purposes. He messed with your abilities to try to prevent your death. I bet he thought Code would attack you. And then Boruto, on this next page, he then concludes here, about to wrap up the conversation, he says, if you think I'm lying, ask Amato. I'm heading out. Kawaki says, Boruto, I ain't changing my opinion. Otsutsuki are evil and need to be exterminated. Those Divine Tree people, it's the Otsutsuki's fault for bringing the Ten Tails. Every single one has to be eliminated, including you and me. But we'll start with those pesky Divine Trees. So now at page 40, Kawaki then says, by any means necessary, even pardoning with you. And Boruto looks like he has a little smirk there. It's almost like he's not sure whether to be relieved or maybe just still a bit empty after what has happened to him in these years. So anyway, we are now page 41. To conclude this chapter, Boruto says, you better not weigh me down, bro. Kawaki says, back at ya, jerk.
I'm gonna be the man.
And then to be continued. What a great chapter. What a great chapter. All right. So if you enjoyed the chapter and all the previous chapters, make sure you like, subscribe, share, click that bell so you know when I post next. Until next time, I am your handsome King Nerdy Bear, giving you the classic commentary, reaction, and review. Mainly a commentary with a splash of reaction. Oh yeah! Dig it!